One of these librarians is sitting in the secret square, and the contestant who picks it first could win a library shop prize package worth nearly $50. Which librarian is it? Christina from Pacific Beach Library, Azalea from Central Library, Vanessa from the Pauline Foster Teen Center at the Central Library, Lydia from North Park Library, Aaron from University Heights Library, Mark from Oak Park Library, Kent from Central Library, Marissa from Sarah Mesa Library, and me, Bijan, from College Rolando Library. All in the Hollywood Squares. And here's the host of the Library Squares, Libraries Chop Scott! Yay!
Thank you very much, Bijan, and good evening, and welcome to the Librarian Hollywood Squares, the world's premier and only librarian-powered vintage game show parody. Hello, librarians. So now let's meet our contestants. Ms. O is Marcy Colleen. Marcy is an award-winning children's author, including Library Shop favorite Penguinauts, and her latest book is The Bear's Garden. Marcy, you were a critically acclaimed actress in a previous life as well.
I don't know how critically acclaimed, but yes, I was.
Fair enough. We'll just move on. Okay, let's meet our Ms. X. That's Chris ID. Chris is a media and research consultant and spends a great deal of her free time doing genealogy research. Chris, have you ever used the Central Library's extensive genealogy resources?
I actually have, as well as I grew up in the California room. Both my parents are writers and researchers, archaeologists. So I think the California room, as well as the children's section at 9th and E, was my babysitter for many, many weekends while they worked. But I as well have checked out the new facilities downtown.
Cool. Marcy, you also hang out in the library and do some work, I believe, correct?
I do every single Wednesday, all day from about 9:30 to 3:30. A friend and I meet up on the 8th floor in the reading room of Central Library. We sit there, we do work, we take a lunch break and go out someplace in the neighborhood and come back. And it's been something that I've really, really missed during this pandemic. I miss the 8th floor. I miss all you guys.
And I'm sure both of your library use, you'd always sort of hoped it would culminate in an appearance on a Zoom game show. So congratulations, you've made it. You've arrived. Object to the players is to get 3 librarians in a row, either across, up, down, or diagonally. It is up to the contestant to figure out if the librarian is giving them a correct answer or making it up to get the square. So each completed game is worth a $25 library shop gift card. First 2 out of 3 games wins the match, and each match there is 1 secret square.
And X will start the search for a secret square to win a Modern Moose 3D wall clock. Wow! Of 3 original whimsical designs: Hippo, Penguin, and Rocket. By artist and designer and company owner Paul Osapik. These handsomely handcrafted clocks feature silent quartz movement, require no assembly, and are made in the USA. Using 1/8 inch thick laser cut Baltic birch plywood, have pre-drilled holes for easy hanging and retail at $48.95. Clock requires 1 AA battery, not included. Modern Moose, we make fun. That's it, Scott.
And I'm sure those of you who have been to the library shop down there in Central in the lobby might recognize these fine clocks from our recent summer clearance table. 50% off last year, but you can get it free today, so should be
Is
exciting.
it true that we only sell silent products at the library shop? Is that an accurate assumption?
That is not true. I don't know where you heard that, but if you go to library
Scandal.
shop sd.org, you can see what we do sell, Lydia, and we will do free delivery right now, as since
Amazing.
we're unable to be open to the public. But thank
What a
you for asking.
service.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's show the audience at home who the secret square is, and on to the questions, which our librarians must answer with a guess or a bluff, and they are hearing the actual questions for the first time as they are asked. So Chris, as Ms. X, you have the board. Please start us off.
Well, I think that I have to go with the name sake, and I pick Christina.
Hey!
Oh, wow, okay. Christina, what was the most requested title of the last 12 months at the San Diego Public Library?
God, I think it'd have to be something about getting out of the house, wouldn't it? But let's see, what could it be?
Well, it goes back to 2019 too. So.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm pretty sure about this one. Where the Crawdads Sing. It has been immensely popular. The last time, before we closed, I know they have like a 500-person waiting list or maybe more. I'm going to say Where the Crawdads Sing.
Okay, Chris, do you agree or disagree?
Having no basis for that question, I am going to go ahead and agree.
That is a great strategy when you're dealing with librarians. So give the X to the square.
Props.
Okay, Marcy, are you ready to roll?
I am. I would
All right,
like to go right for that center square with Bijan.
Bijan,
Oh my gosh,
all
that's
right.
me. Hi.
Bijan,
Yes.
before directing, this is really a question I should ask Azalea. Let me just preface this, but I'm going to throw it to you. Before directing the first 3 episodes of The Handmaid's Tale, Reed Morano directed the video for Sandcastles off of which Beyonce album?
I will say her album, Bay.
Marcy, I know you're probably a big Beyonce fan. We're fingers crossed here. Agree or disagree?
I am going to disagree.
Wow, these guys are good. Give the O to Marcy. Good job.
Good, because I had no idea.
The actual album is Azalea. Do you know which Beyonce album that is at all?
Drunk in Love.
Ooh, Marissa has a guess.
That's not how this game is played. Marissa, what is it called?
Lemonade.
Oh, Lemonade.
Oh,
okay.
I would have guessed that.
Dang, I should've-
Well
I should've
done.
guessed that.
Chris,
Didn't have much of
hopefully,
a poker
You were
face,
not called
so
upon.
I kind of knew.
hopefully we can move on from this. Chris, you have the board.
I'm going to go with Marissa. She knew.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's the only
Well,
thing
I'm
I
not
know.
I'm not going to ask her pop culture questions. So. Okay, Marissa. According to Mo Williams' first book, published in 2003, children's book, published in 2003 by Mo Williams, what should you never let a pigeon do?
Obviously, you should never let a pigeon drive the bus. They don't have licenses.
Chris, agree or disagree?
Oh, no. I know the pigs and the pancakes. Let's see. I'm going to disagree.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is true. You should never let the pigeon drive the bus.
Never let it drive that bus.
So we'll give the O to Marissa
thumbs.
there. Thank you. So now, Marcy, you have the board.
Let's go with Kent.
Kent, how are you doing, Kent?
I am good.
You are the only librarian that didn't give me a fun fact, so I'm going to ask you about a fun fact since I didn't ask anyone else. So tell us about yourself, Kent.
I am a library assistant at the Central Library in the Humanities Department.
I'm sorry,
And
that's not fun.
Wow. Keep going, Kent. Keep going.
One of the things I like to do is I do Chinese traditional line dancing.
Which is not like the line dancing we picture at a country western bar.
It is not.
Okay.
It is not. It is completely different.
Yeah. And it involves groups of like 30.
30 plus, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a good workout.
You've come to the branches to do it, right?
I have.
You
All right,
came to our
Kent.
branch. It was really good.
Kent, are you ready for a general library question?
I am ready.
Okay. Which 19th century robber baron turned philanthropist is now remembered for donating money that was eventually used to build 2,509 libraries between 1883 and 1929? Famous philanthropist. Name is associated with
Carnegie?
Carnegie.
Doesn't he have some libraries after him? I think so.
It's not our job to tell you, Ken.
I think that's him.
Okay, Marcy?
I'm going to agree.
That is correct.
Wow.
In fact, the first library in San Diego was the Carnegie Library in the actual original location of Old Central on 8th and East. So good job. So we're going to give an O to Kent's box there. And Chris, you have your back against the wall here.
I do it. I'm going with Mark.
Okay, Mark, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Scott?
Thank you for joining us at the last minute when I begged you yesterday to be on Librarian Hollywood Squares.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
And when we were talking about fun facts, you said you have an aquarium, and I think you said plural.
Currently, I have 4 up and running, including one on my desk here at work.
Then that's the one that you hid Waldo in 2018, I believe, correct?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, that was I think Oak Park has had the best Waldo hiding place 2 years in a row. So kudos to you.
No way we're going to match that next year.
I'm going to ask you a classic literature, or at least a non-contemporary literature question.
Okay.
Let's go with what was Stephen King's first published novel? Stephen King, first novel he published.
Ooh. And I've probably read it too. Which one it was? I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say The Shining.
The Shining. Chris.
I should definitely know this. My dad will be disappointed, but I'm actually going to disagree.
Probably wise.
Disagree. That is correct. The first novel was Carrie. So the X goes on Mark's box. All right, Marcy, what do we got?
Right. I'm going to go with Azalea for the win.
Azalea for the win. Azalea, how are you doing?
Great.
The reason I thought the Beyonce question would be up your alley is because you are a pop culture maven, but you do sort of trend in the K-pop realm. That's your area of expertise. I believe you've seen the band BTS 3 times. Is that true?
3 times. Each time was amazing.
What does the BTS stand for, anyway, for us older folks?
I believe it stands for Bangtan Soldan, but they don't really.
That's
it's
cool.
now it's just an acronym that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Okay. Here's your question. Name the musical group whose song lyrics make up the title to Rainbow Rowell's Carry On. Rainbow Rowell's book Carry On is based on whose song lyrics?
Kenny Loggins' song.
Kenny
lyrics.
Loggins of Loggins and Messina, yacht rock pioneers. Marcy, for the win, do you agree or disagree?
I'm going to agree.
Oh no, it's Queen. It's Queen. It's from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wow.
We're gonna have like what is it called in tic-tac-toe when there's no winner?
Cat
So,
game.
give us an X, Azalea.
Darn it.
And then Chris, it looks like you're making a comeback here.
I am going with Lydia.
Going with Lydia for the win. Lydia
Good choice.
for the win.
You won't be disappointed.
Lydia, you
Way to set it up. Thank you.
Lydia, you have a doctorate in folklore, I believe, in addition to your service as a librarian. Is that correct?
It is correct. And that will make it even more disappointing if I mess this up.
So I should ask you a children's book question then, I think.
Should you?
Chronologically speaking, The Magician's Nephew comes first in the C.S. Lewis Chronicles of Narnia series, which is based heavily on folklore, Lydia. I'm just going to say that. Which novel in the series was published first? So not first chronologically, but it was the first novel in the Chronicles of Narnia published by C.S. Lewis in 1950.
That would be The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Scott?
Chris, do you agree or disagree?
I'm going to agree.
Yes, we have a winner of Game 1.
Yeah!
Like Hollywood Librarian Squares, congratulations. You get a $25 gift card from the library shop. Though we are currently closed to walk-in, we will deliver to your home. You can visit us at libraryshopsd.org. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back for the second game.
Congrats again!
Oh, hello. It's Scott from the library shop. People ask me what I do with all my free time when I'm not hosting the Librarian Hollywood Squares. To that I say, what are you, my manager? Just kidding. The answer is reading, and reading has never been easier or more important, and that's why I've signed up for the library's virtual summer reading program, and I'll be taking the San Diego Public Library Foundation Community Readathon Challenge, supported by Intuit. If we as a community read just 200,000 books between now and the end of August, the Library Foundation and Intuit will provide $10,000 for library programming. So please join me in taking on this important challenge and reading books while you're doing it. Thanks.
All right, welcome back to Librarian Hollywood Squares. And we're currently, Chris, Ms. X is ahead 1-0. Marcy, Ms. O, you need to make a comeback here in game 2, so we'll let you start the board off.
All right, I'm going to start with that center square again.
You got this.
Bijan, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Scott?
Very good. When you're not playing Librarian Squares, I believe you have some other extracurricular activities that are unique to librarians. You want to clue us in on one of those?
I do a bunch of stuff, but I do a lot of athletics, a lot of competitions and everything like that. Over 30, like marathons, obstacle course races, and I was also on American Ninja Warrior.
American Ninja Warrior. So you're a ninja librarian.
Wow.
Okay. So in 2008, David Benioff published the novel City of Thieves. I'm sure it's a popular title at your branch.
Yeah,
3 years later, though, he was hired as the co-writer of what hit HBO series? David Benioff, co-writer of...
Was it Westworld? Gosh, I just can't remember this as a librarian. But I believe it was Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Marcy, agree or disagree?
Oh boy, this is the center square. I'm going to give up if I'm wrong too. I'll agree.
That is correct. The O goes to Marcy. Game of Thrones, he was the co-writer for.
Yes.
Okay, Chris, you have the board.
I am going with Vanessa.
Hi.
Vanessa.
Yes. Scott.
I will throw you. You're in charge of the teen center.
I sure am.
So I will throw you a YA question,
Okay.
and let's hope you can hit this out of the park. This popular YA novelist lives in San Diego, is of Nigerian descent, graduated from Harvard, and is known for her Legacy of Orisha series.
I was about to answer this in the form of a question. Wrong game show.
Kind of is a Jeopardy question, right?
Yeah. But Tommy Adeyemi.
Chris, Tommy.
I'm going to agree.
That's a good strategy with Vanessa. So the X goes to that square. Marcy, you're
Vanessa
up.
knows all YA.
Yeah, I don't understand why I'm not getting any of the Kidlit questions here as a published children's author.
Well,
I call fix here.
I'm not saying it's fixed, Marcy, but it might be fixed.
Maybe. It's okay. I am going to go with Marissa.
Marissa, where are you? Oh, there you are. You're over on that screen. Okay, sorry. Marissa, how are you at spatial recognition, Marissa?
Spatial recognition or facial recognition?
No, spatial, like with tape measures and stuff. I'm going to ask you a square footage question. Are you ready?
Oh, no, I'm so bad at math.
Okay. Great. That's perfect.
Good luck.
So we have a 36 branch library system here in San Diego. Other than Central, what is the largest branch square footage wise? So think of all the large branches in the system. Central's the largest. What's second?
I'm going to say probably Kensington.
Kensington, a very big branch. We're going to agree or disagree with Kensington?
I've only been outside that library. I've never been inside, but I'm actually going to disagree with that.
That's a good strategy because Marissa was bluffing because Kensington is in fact the smallest branch.
Yeah, it looks pretty small from the
It's
outside.
very small.
Bigger on the inside.
I thought maybe it was a fantasy thing where you walk in and it expands when you get in.
like a
It's our
TARDIS.
TARDIS library.
Like a TARDIS, yeah.
Not even close to circular, but we're going to roll with it.
The second largest is actually Malcolm X. So Valencia Park, Malcolm X. Right around the corner from Mark, right?
Yes, sir.
I was going to say Rancho Bernardo, so I'm glad I didn't guess.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, do you have the board?
And I am going with Christina.
Christina to block. Christina, how are things at Pacific Beach, by the way?
Beautiful. I mean, the sun is shining, gorgeous out there.
And I believe you spent your quarantine sewing, is that correct?
I did. I was sewing like crazy and listening to audiobooks and just making a bunch of masks to give away. And yeah, I made over 300 masks. It was really good.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's a lot for one person.
A lot of audiobooks.
So, Christina, who is the only musician to win the Nobel Prize for Literature? The only musician.
I believe, isn't that Bob Dylan? Didn't he win it within the last year or two? I'm going to say, I believe it's Bob Dylan.
Everybody's asking me, like, I don't know.
You have the answers.
I have the answers, but Chris, do you agree or disagree?
I agree. That's who came to mind for me. So I hope we're both thinking the correct answer.
Bob Dylan is correct. The X goes to Chris. Okay, Marcy.
Okay, I'm going to block with Azalea.
Oh, Azalea.
Azalea.
Now, Azalea, let's see. I'll give you some San Diego Public Library history, Azalea. Which branch was opened in 1916 after community leaders raised $200 to pay the rent of $5 a month? 1916, which branch opened after community leaders got $200 together to pay the rent?
I'm going to take a guess. Let's see. La Jolla.
Oh, La Jolla. Rent was expensive in La Jolla in 1915, right? $5. That's a lot.
Is there some judgment in there, Scott?
No. I live in La Jolla,
live in La
so
Jolla.
I am off the hook here. Okay, agree or disagree, Marcy?
Man, there are a lot of branches to just guess on. So
Yes, there are.
I'm actually going to disagree on that.
That is a good strategy. It's actually Ocean Beach was opened in 1916 after we did a rent money drive. Yes. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Chris, We got the O up there. Okay, Chris, you have the board?
I need to go with Kent for the block. Come on, Kent.
Kent. Let's see. How about a fiction question?
All right,
This will be right up your alley. E.L. James's 50 Shades of Grey was originally fan fiction for which mega popular book series? So it was written as a fan fiction book of what series? 50 Shades of Grey.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
It seems like the kind of thing I wouldn't want to know the answer to, honestly. So.
I think I'm going to say the Twilight series.
The Twilight series. So 50 Shades of Grey originally started as a Twilight fan fiction piece. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Oh, no, it was. In fact, Marcy wins game
good
2.
job.
Congratulations. Amazing.
Way to bluff, Kent. That was really great bluff.
That was. So Kent, hold up your letter just for accounting purposes, so that the auditors can see this was a legitimate match. And we'll take a break, and we'll be right back with the rubber match to decide the championship.
Everybody, it's me, Charlie Goldberg. You probably know me best from my work with the San Diego Public Library Foundation. But you know, when I'm not watching Librarian Hollywood Squares, I'm working on making libraries stronger and more accessible in every San Diego community. You can join me by advocating. Visit librarytransformsd.org to learn more, or make a gift at supportmylibrary.org. Thanks.
Okay. We're back. It's currently one game each between Chris and Marcy here in our first ever Librarian Hollywood Squares. This is definitely the most exciting match we've ever encountered here in our rich history. So, Chris, for the final game, you're going to lead us off. You have the board.
I'm going with Vanessa.
Yay!
Vanessa, who happens to be the secret square. So this question,
Amazing!
your choice of
How does it feel?
3 designs hinges on this answer here. So no pressure.
Clock in dinosaur.
You actually have that clock in dinosaur.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're
Good
like
choice.
karmically suited to win this clock for Chris.
Help me.
It's a sign.
So Angie Thomas won the Coretta Scott King Award for what novel originally written as a short story?
Oh, man.
Angie Thomas won the Coretta Scott King Award for this YA novel.
I know she's got 2 out right now, but I'm going to say it's The Hate You Give.
Chris, do you agree or disagree with a teen librarian?
Well, disagreeing has not helped me today, so I am going to agree and hope that that is correct.
That's correct. Congratulations. You get the X, and you win the Modern Moose clock, which we will deliver to you within 6 to 8 weeks. So just hang tight. Marcy, you have the board.
I'm gonna, Center Square has worked really well for me, so we're gonna go back there.
I got you.
Okay. Bijan. Carla Hayden is in charge of what library collection? She is the librarian for?
She is the librarian for New York Public Library.
New York Public Library.
Their central branch.
Their central branch.
I'm a New Yorker. That's why it's really nerve-wracking for me to answer this and get it wrong if I do. So I'm actually going to agree with you.
Librarians, what is the answer?
Library of Congress.
Library of Congress, ladies and gentlemen. That is correct.
Oh, boy.
I kind of wanted to bluff because I knew the answer, too.
Sure, sure.
Hey, did
Misled Marcy.
It was the whole... I think
You were so good right up until then.
Bijan, I think it's an...
It's an X.
Give it to me.
Oh, you know,
But this was a good example of Marcy was trying to butter up Bijan by complimenting how reliable he was as a center square. So really, he
Backfire.
Yeah, because we cannot be bribed as librarians. Chris, you have the board.
I do. Come on, Mark. Let's do this.
This is for the win and the win of the match.
No pressure.
No pressure. We can end 8 minutes ahead of schedule if we get this correct.
The answer is true.
The answer is true. Okay.
Or is it false? I don't know. What's
It's A.
Let me pick a good one for you, Mark.
No pop culture, please.
How many languages besides English are represented in the San Diego Public Library's collection? How many languages do we have works representing?
A lot.
Like I said, we have 8 minutes, so we can wait.
I'm sorry, what?
The question requires a numerical answer. At this point, it might be obvious that you're bluffing, but continue. How many languages?
Taking a wild stab at it, I'll say 70.
70. Okay. Chris, for the win, do you agree or disagree?
Well, the disagreeing has not gone well, but I am going to disagree because I don't think it's going to be quite an even number like that. So,
great answer. It is 25, and congratulations, Chris. You've won the first ever match in Librarian Hollywood Squares.
yay!
Thank you for participating. Marcy, you've been an amazing second place finisher today. Really showed a lot of courage and grit. You dug deep. You made a big comeback. You won a $25 library gift card. Thank you for playing. And Chris, you are truly a champion. We appreciate you guys joining us for this first ever attempt. And librarians, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
join us next time on the Librarian Hollywood Squares. Bijan, we should really have some sort of like finishing, right?
Yeah, let's all cheer! Yay!
Yay!
Isn't it the kiss?
There you go.
I hate games.